Hello and welcome. I am your host of What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Author Karen E. Osborne. I have five novels out. The latest is Justice for Emerson. I am so glad that you're here. This is a space for readers and writers to come together and talk about books. It's always a pleasure to welcome back a writer friend. You met Jenn, it was really last year, but the beginning of last year, right? When
Yes.
your wonderful book, Considering Us, came out, your lovely second chance romance. But now you are back with a new book. Hey, Jenn,
Hi, Karen.
I'm really excited for you to tell us about this new. So show us the gorgeous cover.
It's right here. Yes, there it
Okay, move
is.
it a little bit more over. There we go.
Okay.
Palms
Palms on the
on the
cape.
cape. There
Here.
we go. We can see it. We can see it now. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So give us the premise. What is this book about?
Okay, so this is set on Cape Cod, which I think everyone's really going to enjoy now that it's summer. But it's about Rachel Sinclair. She is about to turn 40, and no one will let her forget it. And she is the owner of an upscale beach bar called Palms on the Cape. And it is located, for those familiar with Cape Cod, it is in Dennis, near Mayflower Beach, which is on the bay side of the Cape. It's a really beautiful area. It's my favorite. And she had a bit of a mess of a childhood, but she's got this wonderful found family. Her best friend Carlos he's just kind of her rock, and she's trying to not let herself think beyond that right now, beyond friendship, but that's going to continue to be an issue. But one night, a group of people come into the bar and everything changes from that point on.
Hmm. Including a guy named Tripper,
Yes,
right?
Prepper.
Yes, yes. So, first of all, I love the Cape. We vacationed there so many summers, my family and I. So it is a wonderful setting. And having a beach read come out today because this is your publication day. This
Yes,
is, yes. So congratulations. This
thank
is so
you.
exciting. So it's a little bit more about Rachel.
Yeah.
Tell us what kind of person she is, what her fears are, just give us that real, because people, you all know that these characters are for real people, right?
Of
You all
course.
know that. So tell us all about her.
She's my best friend. So no, I have to say, writing Rachel made me, I think, a stronger person because she is so amazing. I loved writing her. She's not perfect. She certainly makes some questionable decisions sometimes, but she's been through, like I mentioned, she's been through a lot in her life. Her mother, Brandy, who you'll meet, is a train wreck. She never knew her father, which you'll learn more about as the story goes on. And she really had to kind of find her way in the world. And she worked really hard and she built this wonderful business. And everything's ticking along just fine, or so she thinks. But this 40 thing is bothering her a little bit. It's just kind of, she's not really sure about this milestone. And then this whole series of events happens and really throws a curveball to her, and she's got to figure out so many things, including, who to trust,
Mm.
and what does she want the rest of her adult life to, look her working life to look like for her business? What does she want her romantic life to look like? So she's got a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah, and 40 is such a pivotal kind of time in our life, isn't it?
Yes, for
It's
sure.
it's a time when you start thinking, how much time do I have left to
Right.
get done all the things? When you're
Yes.
younger, you have time to fix mistakes and you have time to do things over. But as you get a little bit older, you start thinking, well, every decision I make is going to be big, big,
Exactly.
big.
And that's where she's at.
Yeah. So Rachel has this really wonderful friend, Carlos.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about him?
Yeah, so they grew up together on the Cape, but then he left during high school. He was a really good baseball player, and he ended up going to a boarding school. He went to Phillips Andover, and ultimately, went to college, played baseball, and got recruited, got drafted by the Red Sox, and he was a relief pitcher. And his career was cut a little bit short. Repeated surgeries and things like that. So he ended up leaving baseball, going back home to the Cape. His family is still there. His parents are still there, and he ends up starting a construction business on the Cape. Kind of capitalizing on, a little bit of fame that he has to get business, and that works well for him, even though he doesn't like that aspect of it. Being kind of the baseball boy. On the side of his work van, but he knows it helps him to get business. And I have to say, he is my favorite man I've ever written. And I think people are really going to enjoy him.
So here the two of them are both business owners
Yeah.
trying to make their
And that's
way in the
part of their
world.
friendship. They help each other out quite a bit with that.
Giving each other advice and
Yeah.
support. And then comes trouble.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about trouble.
So Tripper is trouble, and he is younger than Rachel. He is the leader of this business school study group from Vermont that descends on Palms on the Cape that late August night. And he is charming. He comes from a family in the restaurant industry, so he actually knows the industry really well. They're a very successful company, corporation of a series of restaurants around New England. And he's got access to all sorts of things that just Rachel never was able to do, all the things she was never really able to do. Like every decision she has made in her adult life is very calculated. I have enough money to take 1 week off in January. I can go to Florida then, and that's it. I work the rest of the year. I only take Monday afternoons off, all these sorts of things. He comes in, breezes in his Mercedes convertible, and, suddenly it's like, oh, you want to go to a Bruins practice? I can get you there, things like that. So he opens her world up a bit, and she has to try to figure out if she can trust him and if this is someone she wants to spend time with, and why does he want to spend time with her? She's a little bit perplexed by that as well.
Mhm. This sound like people does not this sound like a wonderful beach read. This is what you should put in your beach bag when you head out on vacation and read. This sounds so wonderful. So that's what I'm going to do. And I can go to the beach anytime I want because I live in Florida. So this is your third novel, right?
Yes.
Yes. And look back on this experience, like you mentioned a couple of times, this was my favorite male character to write. I had so much fun writing Rachel. As you look back on the progress you've made over those three books, have you learned anything interesting or new about yourself, or did it reconfirm something for you?
Sure. I think that I realize it's sort of a strange thing to pick up in midlife, this whole writing books thing, but I'm really glad I did it. As you know, publishing is a roller coaster, and there are extreme highs and there are some really rough lows. And you just have to, if you want to keep doing it, you just have to find a way to keep going. And what I have found is that I'm hooked. I really enjoy it. I like creating these stories. I like creating these characters. I also really enjoy meeting readers and meeting other authors, like you. I think it is one of the things in this that I never really thought about when I said, 11 years ago, I think I'm going to try to write a novel. I never thought about the authors I would get to know in the process. And that has been one of the greatest gifts. All the wonderful friendships that I've made, and all the things I've learned from the other authors who I've had the pleasure of, getting to know over the last few years.
Yeah, that is, it's such a supportive community.
It is.
Um, you and I met at Bates, right?
Yes,
At Bates College, and we're both volunteers, people who volunteer, and that's a really supportive community.
it
But to
is.
us find ourselves in another community that's equally supportive, people helping each other, It's been wonderful.
It is.
Yeah, it's been like the greatest gift because
I
this is a tough business.
It is. And you can't do it alone. I mean, the writing itself can feel very isolating at times, and
Mhm.
that's why it's important to have community.
Yes, 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 yes. Do you belong to a critique group or
So I have a writers group. We don't, we, we share when we feel like it's appropriate, when we want some feedback, but a lot of the support we give each other is very logistical around publishing and marketing and
Mm.
publicity and navigating things. I'm a part of a group of 8 women writers called the 11th Chapter, and we're all over the place. We have 2 writers in Canada and 6 in the US. And we talk to each other. We have an Instagram chat that goes all day, and we all just ask for, advice, feedback, support from each other. We try to see each other every other summer. So we'll see each other this summer, which will be really nice. And they're wonderful. I feel very lucky to have them.
Yeah, where do you guys meet? On the Cape, I hope.
Maybe next time. I hope so. I think we're due for an East Coast trip, but we're going to head out to Vancouver this August. So I'm excited for that.
Very nice. Vancouver is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful part of the world. Yes, yes. So are you working on, I know it's publication day and I'm asking you, do you have
We're
something else
always
in the
working on
works?
something, right, Karen?
Aren't we always? Yes. So
Yeah.
what are you working on now?
So, I have a fourth book that's, fully drafted and it's been through betas, and so we'll see what happens. We've got to wait and hear what will happen with that. So, that one is set on the North Shore of Massachusetts. It's a romantic comedy, female baseball coach and male softball coach romance. They end up, well, she ends up in this baseball coaching position under some very unusual circumstances. So anyway, it's really cute, and I'm excited to see what happens with it. And then I'm about halfway through drafting a high school reunion romance, and which I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to write something around a high school reunion, two people coming back together after a number of years apart. So that's I need to get that done this summer because you know how it is when you're busy promoting and marketing other books, you end up, that's kind of the last thing you pick up is the work in progress. So that's one of my goals this summer is to get that done.
Yeah, yeah. High school reunions. It lends for quite lots of romance, but lots of humor too.
Absolutely.
And the people we haven't seen in a long time, like,
Exactly.
is that Mhm.
Totally.
As you know, this is What Are You Reading? What are you writing? So have you read anything recently that you could share with everybody?
So I just finished a historical fiction book, The Secret Courtesan from Carrie Chaput, which is
Oh, she's
fantastic.
so good. She's
So
so
good.
good.
And so I just finished that, highly recommended. And I learned so much from it. She researches her books so well. And so that was great. I am reading Annabelle Monaghan's Dolly All the Time right now, which just came out a couple weeks ago. And it's fabulous. She's one of my favorite authors. And then next, I've got this, like all of us, I have a stack this tall that's about to topple over. But the next book I'm going to read, Sarah Goodman Confino's book, Off the Record, just came out a couple weeks ago. And that is next on my list. So I've got a great summer of reading ahead of me.
Yes, you do. And you guys have a great summer read going on too, and you should start with Jen's books. So, tell us. Oh, so first of all, you guys know you can find her books on Amazon. You can find her books in Barnes and Noble, in your local independent bookstore, on our publisher, Black Rose Writing website, and in the library. We love libraries.
Yeah.
And so if you don't see it, ask for it. But Jenn, if they want to be in touch with you, if they want to find your website and your social media, how can they do that?
So my website is Jenn, that's Jenn with two N's, jennbouchard.com. And that's where I keep, lots of things. You can find recipes from my books. You can find my updated event schedule. I
Wait,
am
wait,
going
wait,
to,
wait, wait, wait. Recipes?
yes. Oh, yes.
Tell us about that for a
There are
minute.
recipes for, because there's a lot of cooking in my books. And so there are signature recipes for each of my books. So you can find them on my website.
Right, so go ahead. And then I interrupted
Yeah,
you.
no
So where
problem.
else are you
I will
on
be
social
all over
media?
the place this summer. I'm going to over 30 places this summer and fall so far. With Palms on the Cape. So please check out my schedule. And if I'm coming somewhere near you, please do plan to stop by or tell some friends if they are local. I would love to see you. I'm going to beautiful places like York, Maine, and Lake Winnipesaukee, and Narragansett, Rhode Island, and of course going to the Cape and Martha's Vineyard. So that'll be a lot of fun. My social media, I am mostly on Instagram and Facebook, and it's the same handle. It's at Jenn Bouchard, BOS for Boston. And that is where you can also find my event schedule and all the things I'm up
Beautiful.
to.
Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds great. So, everybody, buy the book. Go buy it. Publication day, right? Show it again. Show it one more time. Palms on the Cape. Read it. You know what you know. You should write a review, right? Reviews help us so much. And so if you could just take, it could be like one line. Loved it. That's all. And we're happy with that. It could be the headline and the whole review. Loved it, right? So I hope you'll
That's all
all
you
do
need.
that. And I hope that when you get in touch with Jenn, go to her website, find out where she's going. If you run into her in one of these places, you can tell her you met her on What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Until next week, everybody, thanks for watching. And thanks, Jenn, for being here.
Thanks, Karen.